I'm fascinated by this comparison, Robert Pattinson in the new Batman to Prince Harry. Can you explain that to me? I would have personally, watching the film, which is beautiful and I loved it, I would have never ever thought that's Prince Harry. But after I heard your explanation, I thought, oh my God, is it?
Well, it's put it this way. I think it is director Matt Reeves, and I must say, I think he's made a wonderful film. I'm not a superhero fan on the whole. Black Panther was the one exception before because it tapped into African myth and legend. And here with the Batman, and I find myself 2 hours and 56 minutes gripping at my seat in quite a few sequences. I'm fascinated by the way, I would say that the comparison is a little bit mischievous perhaps, but there is a certain relevance. After all, Batman, aka Bruce Wayne, I mean, the Waynes were one of the two major families that built up Gotham City. And it's with this in mind, the fact that his parents, of course, the tragedy there, the murder, that this is something in Bruce's past. And of course, Prince Harry, and we mentioned Diana, and we think back as to an extraordinary outpouring of grief that occurred there in the country too. But the fact that he was traumatized by it and also still is and has frequently referred to his struggles in this regard, the fact that he's trying to help others with mental health problems, but also that he's grappled with his own. This idea that the Waynes, and that Bruce Wayne particularly, he isn't active in civic duties. The pressures on him are very considerable to be active. And at the beginning of the movie, and of course he has Alfred who's there to tick him off and trying to help and so forth. And of course he served her parents. But is there anything in the Wayne background that could be perhaps a bit suspect? I mean, of course, as the film progresses, you will definitely find that there is. And to what extent is or has Bruce Wayne withdrawn him? And he visits us. There's a certain funeral early in the film, and when he visits or attends the funeral, and this is a scene that you will not forget, he hasn't been out and about performing civic duties for some time. So there is, with tragedy in the past and with the pressures of civic life and the pressures also of being rich and established, you can see, of course, he might feel a bit trapped. So it was this that Matt Reeves said to Robert Pattinson, think when you're thinking of Bruce Wayne, think of the British royal family, and then, you might get a certain inspiration for aspects of the character. You could say it's a little bit mischievous, but also it got a headline in the Daily Telegraph here.
No, I thought that was really interesting because as I watched it, and you'll maybe be familiar with this because you are a film critic, but to me, I wondered how much of it was Robert Pattinson because he seemed so reluctant. He seemed so against celebrity when his star really blew up. So then to hear you describe the similarities to Prince Harry, I thought, you know what, that really does make sense because I truly think that if Prince Harry could just be a soccer dad in Montecito, California, he would. I don't know if he enjoys all the attention that he gets. I think Meghan might enjoy it, but I don't think that Prince Harry necessarily does.